Hey guys, AscendantGod here and below. Here with Raid Shadow Legends. I'm going to be going over the Christmas Fusion event. Tormin the Cold here, or as he shall be known henceforward, is Tormin the Expensive, because he is going to be ridiculously expensive. Since Plarium didn't seem to learn their lesson from the Foley paywall scam back in the day, this time they're doing not just one but two paywalls. So looking at the news here, now I'm going to cover Tormin here, cover his abilities, but I just have to go over this because this is just really disgusting. This is why we're going to be losing a lot of players in this event, again, like with Foley. Alright, because with the epics, you got to get a summon rush here, two of them coming from summon rushes. The first one, the Towering Titan, he's literally behind 12 Sacred Shards. That's over $300 worth of in-game purchases just for 1 out of 4 of them. So if you did all 4 like that, that's $1,200. The second one, Basher, is probably going to be just as bad, if not even worse, because they know by then that you're already hooked. So anyway, he's behind a $300 paywall. Even just getting the rares, there's a couple of different rares, like the summoning events here, Summon Rush Event 1 and 2 here. So you have to get them unless you spend the $300 on him. You have to get both of these, each of these. Well, the first one that's available, the Harvester, she's costing about $60 right now because of being behind, like, what is it, like 12 Void Shards or something like that. I think you need to get her in the event right now. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy right now as far as the costs on these. The icing on the cake is that the second buy shards here, just head back into this. The second buy shards and win event is going to be going on Christmas Eve, December 24th. So Christmas Eve, our gift from Plarium is going to be a paywall. Words can't. I mean, really. I mean, on Christmas Eve, a paywall. So, I mean, what they're doing is just nothing short of disgusting here. My advice is very simple, guys. Put away your wallet, uninstall the game, and don't look back. All right. I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I create content for this game, I would have walked away from it a long time ago. And with this latest scam that they're doing now, with these 2 paywalls instead of just 1 like last time, like, I'm looking into other games to cover. This just isn't worth it. I mean, unless you spend thousands of dollars on this game, you can't be top tier competitive. 90% of this game is about how much you spent, 8% is luck, and only about 2% at best is skill. That's not fun, and it's certainly not something to be proud of. You can't say, oh, I got a lot of skills, I got powerful aim. It's like, no, you spent $5,000 on the game, and that's why you have the gear and the champions you do. So anyway, I mean, I know there are other content creators who do far more damage on Ultra Nightmare runs. They're in Platinum tier without struggling. Differences with me is I make content that's for all experience levels here, free to play up to the pro level. The only thing that holds me back in the game is how much I spend. I have the skills, I just don't have the champions at times, or I just don't have the gear. And that's it. I'm not dumb enough to spend thousands of dollars on a game, or correction, really, it's not a game, it's an app. A game is like World of Warcraft or Dark Souls 3. This isn't even a full game. But with that being said, for the time being, I do plan on continuing to create content for the game, but as always, I'm looking out for you guys, the players, not Plarium. And as such, I'm going to warn you right now, unless you have a lot of the champions needed for this fusion already, it's most likely going to cost you hundreds of dollars to purchase it. All right. And even if you do have the champions already, like I have a decent amount here, which is why I'm going for it. But just think about how much you've already spent on the app just to get those. I mean, guys, you really need to start keeping track of a budget if you're not already, and watch how much you're actually spending on this app. I really strongly encourage all of you to do that. I made a previous video about how to get the most out of endgame content as well. If you haven't watched that already, please, for the sake of your wallet, watch it. It's going to help you get the most out of endgame content and save money in the process. Okay. Until I actually started tracking how much I was making in purchases, I had no idea how much I was spending on this app. I mean, it gets easy to be $5 here, $10 here, $20 here. Next thing you know, it's crazy. You look at how much you're spending a month. So keep track of that stuff, guys. I mean, for me, like, when I realized that, I mean, there's things for me that are much more important, like getting my children back. I mean, with that said, I mean, if you have thousands of dollars to throw on the app, hell, feel free to donate some to me through my PayPal. You can find that in the comments. I mean, in the details section there below. At least my cause is to save a family, not buying pixels. But that's another story for another time. I don't feel like crying in a video, so I'm not going to get into that right now. But for now, I gave you guys the forewarning as far as the paywalls, and you can see in the news where the paywalls are. You can see some of the paywalls right now because the buy shards and win is going on the first one. The next one is going to be going on Christmas Eve. So just a forewarning, another paywall is coming, guys. All right, and again, you can find all that info in the news there. So I'm going to get into the this guy here and what he does now. So I think I did enough of a rant already. Now I'm gonna let you know right now the reason Tormin the Cold is so important to get at this point, if you want to have a competitive edge, is because he's going to break Arbiter teams in their current state. People will adapt, but right now he's going to break them with the way that they are. Here's why. His passive, Wintry Wind, passive effect has a 15, now we're going to say the maximum debuffs because of course people are going to max this guy out with how amazing he is, has a 25% chance of placing a freeze debuff on the enemy each time they receive a buff, get healed, or have their turn meter filled. Okay, and this 25% chance applies for each effect individually. Okay, so what this means is that max skills, he has a 25% chance every time something happens from Arbiter. So like even if you get the first turn with Arbiter, that means that each of your champions are going to have two 25% chances to be frozen. One for the turn meter boost she gives all of your allies, and then another for the attack boost that she gives everybody. So that means that on average, about half of your team is going to be frozen up because of him. So even if you go first, you might lose half of your champions to his freeze because of a passive. Not even his attack, just his passive could freeze you up. He's going to destroy Arbiter in her current state. All right? I mean, that right there is going to break those teams, and Plarium knows exactly what they're doing. I mean, this means that all Arbiter players are going to have to now start farming for immunity sets to keep from being frozen by this guy. Now, if you've been playing for a long time and you have to replace some really solid gear you currently have with immunity sets, that is going to be literally hundreds and hundreds of dollars farming Fire Knight's castle to build up a decent collection of new gear to be able to handle this guy. All right? And let me put it this way. I've recently spent over 6,000 gems in farming Dragon. I've not gotten even one single upgrade for any of my champions. No speed gear for my Arbiter with decent speed stats, and no decent lifesteal sets with anything decent on them either. I'm pretty certain that they've nerfed the drop rate on both of those items, knowing that lifesteal and speed is the main things that we farm that for, along with accuracy, I guess, as well. But, I mean, it's either that or maybe when you get to a certain power level in the game they nerf it. I don't know, but I mean 6,000 gems and not even one single upgrade. I mean, something isn't right there. But not going to get into me. I want to focus on this guy here. But right now, I'm just giving you guys a fair warning that it's going to cost a lot to overcome this guy here. And that's why he's going to break Arbiter until people spend a ton of money to fix him by getting immunity sets. But if you want to remain competitive in Arena for now, you're going to have to be building either immunity sets or get this guy. All right? Resist is an option too, but if you don't have enough resist, he can freeze you up. You know, as such, immunity makes more sense. But regardless, Tormin the Expensive is going to be destroying Arbiter teams in his current state. I mean, people will adapt again, but not without spending hundreds of dollars, and literally hundreds, if not thousands, to get competitive again. I mean, Plarium knows exactly what they're doing here with them. They saw that most Platinum players, I should say, have Arbiter or another TM booster on the composition, so they figured, how can we break that and get people spending more money? Boom, Tormin the Expensive. So now that the passive is going to be the most devastating in the arena, and ultimately this guy is an arena champion. I mean, he'll most likely be good in dungeons and faction wars as well, but it's clear his main purpose is to break Arbiter and turn meter boost teams that are similar to her. His A3 is pretty solid too, though. His AoE, if people are under freeze debuffs, it blocks buffs and does 100% heal reduction for 2 turns. All right, I mean, That's going to be pretty crazy, all right? And now if they already have a freeze on them, I mean, you won't see this in Arena, but you might see it in other encounters, or if you use them in conjunction with somebody else that can freeze as well, then yes, this will be applicable in Arena, so that would be pretty good too. It's going to make other champions that have AoE freeze or AoE HP burn a lot more valuable when you're using him. Now, if that debuff doesn't happen, then he has, at max skills, an 80% chance to place a provoke on the enemies. So it's not guaranteed like, say, Martyr or Molly, but 80% is still pretty high. With Sniper, that's, you know, the Sniper Mastery, I should say, for those of you who don't know, you're going to get that up to 85%. All right, so it should cripple the enemy even if they, you know, if they don't have enough resist or immunity gear to handle it. Most of them are going to get provoked. All right. Plus, if you use him with somebody like a freeze or an HP burn champion, he'll also lock up skills on champions for a turn, as you can see here. It's going to lock up one random skill of each ally if they're under one of those. All right. So he's going to work great with compositions that have AoE HP burns in them. Amazing, and you'll see why in a minute when I get to his A1. At the bare minimum, you are getting a really good chance at provoking the enemy with this A3, so it's solid even without HP burn or other allies with freeze debuffs. It's still going to be a really solid one, because that provoke at 80 or 85% if you have the sniper, it's good. His A2 can be insanely powerful if paired with somebody else with an HP burn or a freeze. It can either steal 2 buffs from an enemy, or if they have freeze on them, it steals all their buffs, which is crazy. On top of that, if you can get both an HP burn and a freeze on them, it completely ignores their defense. This would be insanely good. I mean, completely ignoring it. If you get your compositions, rotations set up right, I mean, he could make a habit of timing this with both debuffs and one-shot most opposing enemies. I mean, completely ignoring their defense is crazy. And lastly, his A1 is horribly powerful. Ridiculous. I think this is probably the most powerful A1 I've ever seen in the game yet. All right, his AoE attacks with a 25% chance to freeze enemies for a turn, at least 25% at max skills. Okay, so because you see it's 5% down here, so it's going to be 25% at max skills. That's crazy. So 1 in 4 champions getting locked up with freeze. All right, and then this is what makes him so good combined with an HP burn. Okay, if an enemy has HP burn on them, this ability triggers every time they take damage from the HP burn. I mean, seriously, how did player not see this championess guide broken already? I mean, just imagine your team getting HP burn on them from an AoE HP burn, and all 4 of your champions get them on it. Normally, HP burn, I should say, isn't that bad in Arena. Not a big deal, because it's only a percentage. But then imagine every time one of your champions' turns happens and they take damage from that HP burn, on top of that, your entire team also gets hit with this wave from an A1 that has at least a 25% chance to freeze them. I mean, that's just insane. That's absolutely insane. I mean, just imagine that. I mean, it's like you don't even want to go first anymore. But regretfully, I don't have anyone else with a really good HP burn. I mean, but even without it, he is crazy good. I mean, so like I said, he's going to break Arbiter teams, and he's going to force them to completely overhaul their strategies, or they're going to be a really easy target for this guy. All right. So again, guys, if you can get him without breaking the bank, he looks pretty freaking cool too. He almost kind of reminds me of like an Icicle Dwarf Doomsday a little bit. But anyway, but yeah, if you can get him without breaking the bank, go for it. But I mean, he seems extremely appealing right now. But consider this, okay? Hegemon is God broken. But yet how many of him do you see in Platinum tier? Why? Because people learned how to counter him. All right, basically immunity already, which you're also going to see with this guy, or high resist. All right, now likewise, people are going to learn how to counter this champion as well. He'll give you an advantage for definitely a month or so, maybe even a few months, but eventually the competitive players are going to adapt to this guy, and he won't be as big of a threat. So if you don't have the money for him, or you know better than to spend the money, I wouldn't worry too much, guys. All right, and if you're not going to be spending a lot of money in this game, and if you want to be really competitive, go find another game, guys, because this game is becoming more and more pay to win by the day. I mean, it's already pay to play, but it's more and more pay to win every single day. And this guy is a perfect example of it. 2 paywalls, but yet he's ridiculously powerful. You need him to remain competitive currently. And if you don't get him, at the bare minimum, you're going to have to start farming for immunity sets to be able to handle him in arena. If not immunity sets, you're going to need a lot more resistance at the bare minimum. All right. So the advantage with resistance over the immunity is immunity doesn't keep you from getting turn meter decreases. So like Lysandra that decreases your turn meters, immunity won't stop her from decreasing your turn meters. Resist can if you have high enough resist. So there's advantages to resist and advantages to immunity, but I'm not going to cover that in this video. The fact of the matter is, you know, this guy is really, really powerful, but like I said, guys, unless you're planning on playing this in the long run, you have a lot of money to put into this game, don't do it. Don't do it, because this game is only going to get worse. All right. But that's all that I have for now. I mean, I have enough of the champions, as you saw earlier, to where I'm going to get him myself. I think I still have a couple more in my vault I need to look through. I just got home from work. I wanted to make this video as quickly as I could for you guys before I tried to see what I had, and give you guys as much information as I could, because my suggestion, like I said, if you don't have tons of extra money to spend, don't invest in this guy, because like I said, there's a second paywall coming on Christmas Eve no less. That's their Christmas gift to us, as a paywall. So anyway, I wish you guys the best, though. I mean, he's certainly not another Harvest Jack or Abraxas. This guy's a very solid champion, at least for now, until people start learning how to counter him. And even in Dungeons of Action Wars, if you have somebody with HP burn that you can combine with him, he's going to be amazing, absolutely amazing overall. All right, so that's all that I got for now, though, guys. Hope this was useful. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comments below. But otherwise, if you're trying to get him, I wish you luck. If you don't want to spend any money more in this game, like I said, start looking for something else, because this isn't stopping. It's just getting worse. So anyway, but I wish you guys luck. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Keep an eye out, because like I said, I am going to be getting him, because I have enough of the champions, and I'm dumb enough to go for it. I mean, I have enough shards and everything to where I can get him without spending any money. I mean, I still have over 2,000 gems. I'll be able to get him. But keep staying tuned for the video when I do the champion spotlight on him, because I'm going to max him out, test him out some, see what his damage multipliers are, and see how solid he is, and give you some suggestions after I've tried him out. So keep an eye out for that. But that's all that I got for now, guys. So hope this was useful, and until the next episode, guys, take care, good luck in the game, and I will catch you in the next episode. So until then. Hey guys, Anthony here, also known on this channel as AscendantGod. And shout out from down below, because we love everybody equally here. Well, thank you guys for checking out the channel here. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with the latest content as I provided on here. Also, be sure to check out the description sections of the videos regularly as well. That's where I provide you guys with all the resources that I'm able to find that I think would be useful for you. It's also where you can show your support, and it is much appreciated, because regretfully, playing video games and making funny videos doesn't support the family. So any support you guys give is really appreciated. And other than that, I think that's about all that I got for now. So in the meantime, I'm gonna get back to this here. I think I almost got it figured out. So wish me luck, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. So until then.